Hey everybody, it's Pastor Michael at Ascension Lutheran Church in Torrance, California, and it's time for another Midweek Boost. Well, I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, perhaps for the last time, because after all, it is the last day of the Christmas season. It is January 5th. Tomorrow is January 6th, which marks the beginning of Epiphany. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Epiphany is a manifestation. And what we believe was made manifest was Jesus as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And that's what we celebrate on Epiphany when we remember the Magi coming in to visit Jesus. The Magi, of course, were not Jewish. They were Zoroastrian astrologers from the East. And so they were as Gentile as you could get. And they came to recognize Jesus as king. If you remember, Abraham was told that his seed would bless the nations, that they wouldn't just be a family, a blessing unto themselves, that they would bless the whole earth. Well, as Israel grew, now remember Israel, it's Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Jacob had the 12 sons, which were the 12 tribes of Israel. So Jacob and Israel are synonymous with one another. As those 12 tribes began to grow, they didn't bless the nations. In fact, they ended up fighting amongst themselves, eventually splitting and going to civil war with one another. They were not a blessing to the nations. Hence, Jesus' need to come in and to do his rescue of Israel and his salvation of the world. Now, this didn't come as a surprise to God. He knew that when he gave us the law that we would fail, and that ultimately the law would serve the purpose of showing us our need for his mercy and grace. And that's what the incarnation was all about, where God came into our flesh and he took on not just our flesh, but ultimately took on our sin so that we could be made righteous. As he was made guilty for us, as we trust in him and believe in what he's done for us, we are made righteous through faith in him. Now, in becoming our righteous king, he has also made us priests and heirs along with him in this kingdom, in this royal kingdom. And anyone who believes is a part of this royal kingdom, anyone in all the earth. And after, of course, he empowered his disciples with the Holy Spirit, they were to go out and to tell everyone in the earth about Jesus and what he's done. And that's precisely what's happened. And people all over the earth now believe. You know, the Magi were the first of the Gentiles to recognize Jesus as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. But now people all over the earth do it. People of all kinds of nations and ethnicities. We understand that Jesus is King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And we are co-heirs with him. You know, it's time that we start to get out of our funk about all the stuff that's going on in the world and allow the truth to be manifest in our lives, that Jesus is King of Kings, that he is Lord of Lords, that he rules and reigns over all things, that he indeed is in charge and that we have nothing to worry about, and finally, that we rule and reign with him, for we are his priests and kings. This is what Epiphany is about. Have a blessed last day of Christmas and a very blessed Epiphany. Good night.